everyone. I hope you're enjoying your Easter weekend as best as you can. I know that we're all under lockdown orders right now, and so hopefully you're celebrating it with at least one of your family members. As we all know, this has been a very difficult time for all of us, and it's been a difficult time for our economy. And so it is important that we get through this phase of isolation and physical distancing to stop the spread of this pandemic. At the same time, we have to also be thinking about our medium and long-term solutions to how we move forward out of this. As you're all very aware, our economy is suffering greatly right now. We are in the midst of a recession that could be bigger than the one we had in 2008 and 2009. And so what are we going to do to get out of this? We've borrowed billions of dollars. Remember that the government doesn't have this money. This is like, imagine you had a credit card with a massive, massive credit limit. That's what's happening here. The government is putting all of this money on their government credit card, and that will have to be paid back. And so how are we going to do that? What's the plan for that? Conservatives are starting to work on this and start to talk about formulating plans on how we're going to get the economy going again and how we're going to pay back this massive, massive debt that we've accumulated just in the last few months. So one of the things that is critical to Canada is our oil and gas sector. And Bill Morneau understands this. And in fact, 2 weeks ago on March 25th, he told us that help for Canada's oil and gas sector is hours, possibly days away.
But I'm not talking about weeks, I'm talking about hours, potentially days.
Now, he recognizes that oil companies, like all other businesses, are suffering. They are lacking cash flow, and it's critical that we keep these businesses running so that when this pandemic passes, there are jobs that we can all go back to. And so that is why Bill Morneau was proposing help for the oil and gas sector, much like he's proposed help to many different sectors and businesses in Canada's economy. Interesting that he said it was hours, possibly days away.
But I'm not talking about weeks, I'm talking about hours, potentially days.
That was over 2 weeks ago. And clearly hours, possibly days, has turned into weeks and probably will never happen. Why is this? Well, there are some strong voices in the Liberal cabinet. Catherine McKenna, Stephen Guilbeault, people who are very anti-oil. And these voices apparently are winning the argument in the Liberal cabinet. And so the Liberal government is clearly trying to kill the oil and gas industry in Canada. And I think they've recognized that when the economy is down and when businesses are on their knees, like they are right now, they have an opportunity to do that. And that's what they seem to be doing. And we know that in Western Canada, the oil and gas sector is extremely critical to our economy. It provides thousands, hundreds of thousands of jobs. It provides billions of dollars of revenue. And to the federal government and provincial governments, it provides tens of billions of dollars of tax revenues. Those are tax revenues that we need in order to pay back this crazy large debt that we've accumulated here during this pandemic. And so it is very significant and very important that we have a strong oil and gas sector that can create those jobs, can maintain those jobs, and create that revenue for the government and for our economy as a whole.
We can't shut down the oil sands tomorrow. We need to phase them out.
Now clearly, the energy industry has to do more with respect to the environment. And in fact, it is. We are making great strides in the energy industry to do a better job of protecting the environment, reducing emissions, and coming up with many innovative ways of doing things better and smarter. Keep in mind that the Canadian energy industry is the best in the world when it comes to environmental protections, when it comes to policies for developing new projects, when it comes to wages, when it comes to the way we treat our people. The Canadian energy industry stands alone in that regard against countries in South America, against countries in Saudi Arabia and others. And so we need to remember that the world needs oil, and the world will continue to use oil for many years to come, even as we transition to new energy and methods of energy. And so we want to be producing that oil for the world. We have the best energy, we have the safest energy. We want that to be the energy that's used in the world. And we can do that. And it's important to us in many different ways. It's important to us, obviously, for jobs, hundreds of thousands of jobs. It's important for revenues, for GDP. And that's one of the ways we're going to pay back this massive credit card that we've incurred in this pandemic. And remember, too, that oil products are not just used for fueling our cars and our homes. Oil products are used in all kinds of industries like plastics. They're used in creating things like masks that we are using in this pandemic. Oil is used to create all kinds of products that we use every day. And so we are going to need to continue to produce oil in order to keep for us to keep enjoying the lifestyle that we have. Now we need to be better, and we are getting better, and we will meet our targets. We will reduce the amount of carbon that's produced in the atmosphere, and those are things that we're all going to work on. But nevertheless, oil and gas is going to continue to be an important part of our economy. And so as we move forward here, we need to come up with a plan that gets our economy rolling again, and part of that is going to be through oil and gas. And there's lots of other industries that are going to need support, and I would encourage you even now to think about how you're going to support your local businesses, your restaurants, and other shops in your community that are going to need your help. We need those jobs. Those jobs are critical to getting our economy back on solid footing. So I hope that you can enjoy this weekend. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact our office. We will help you as much as we can. And most of all, please stay safe and healthy.